Thank you, Nancy. Also want to say how wonderful it is to see members of our family who've also retired and come back. Jeannie, Miss Lois, Joanne, the girls are back. And it's probably a good thing we're doing this during the lunch hour, not during happy hour. I also want to welcome Loretta's family who are here for this wonderful and important occasion. I know you're excited for today, because it means starting next week, you get her back. You get her back finally all to yourselves. And we are here not just to celebrate Loretta's retirement from the Office of the President at the University of Virginia, but also to pay tribute to her long, exceptional, and inspiring career. A career that started at UVA in 1973 at the Curry School and resumed again in the early 90s for a quarter century. For all those years, Loretta worked on the front lines of the most challenging tasks for some of the most important university leaders, including our beloved admissions dean, Jack Blackburn, who considered Loretta's expertise, professionalism, warmth, and integrity absolutely essential to our admissions work. Not surprisingly, her next two bosses, two of the university's 8 presidents, John Castine and Terry Sullivan, felt the same. The middle child of 3 girls, with Sonia, the older sister, and Joyce, the youngest, Loretta learned at an early age how to calmly mediate. Always steady and unnerved, these were skills that would pay huge dividends in her career in the future. As an Army family, she lived in Kentucky, Japan, and Germany, where she attended an American high school and met the love of her life and her partner in crime, her travel companion, Mike. Loretta also lived in Fort Benning, Georgia, where she attended Baker High School and graduated. So Loretta has Southern roots. This should not come as a surprise, given her kindness and amiability. She's always with a smile, a positive attitude, a kind word, always able to disarm the most agitated or mean-spirited stakeholder. And Georgia is certainly where Loretta and her mother, Florine, developed a love of and skill for Southern cooking. Loretta, I understand that your mother was a fabulous cook, almost as good as you. Most impressive about Loretta is her ability to successfully juggle a demanding career, one we all marvel at, while also being the proud and loving matriarch of a family of 4 children and 9 grandchildren, several of whom have already been introduced. Jack, Natalie, Erica, Brian, Anthony, Gina, Logan, Jet, and Sky. Superman on a good day is Loretta Cronk. From the moment she arrived at UVA, Loretta has given herself entirely to those around her, ceaselessly acting without any thought of recognition or reward. She was always working long hours, and the work was always stressful. Much of it she wasn't able to speak about because she exudes confidentiality. Loretta always deserved that red glass of wine at night. If it were me, I'd probably have had a whole bottle. And whatever she does, Loretta radiates a rare form of happiness, selflessly and compassionately doing challenging interactive work. She always knows the direction of true north and the difference between right and wrong. Even when put in potentially compromising positions, such as in the summer of 2012, when she, Joanne, and Nancy reported to the rector instead of the president. What is perhaps most admirable about Loretta is something that can be adequately articulated, only felt. She exemplifies the meaning behind Maya Angelou's words, "People will forget what you said, people forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Her capacity to put others before herself, in every instance, whether it's her family or her president, is perhaps her greatest gift. She embodies the very best of the University of Virginia, and we are so grateful to her family for lending her to us all these years. So now it's time for her next act, the third act. What could that look like? Well, Loretta and Mike started their family at a young age. They haven't had personal time in a really long time. Maybe that might include more fun on the houseboat in Port Hayward at the Horn Harbor Marina, Perhaps it includes picking bridge back up. I might recommend Rummikub. My grandparents loved it, and it resulted in less fights than bridge. More RV trips to Colorado to have breakfast with Moose. And of course, most of all, precious time with each other and time with children and grandchildren. I'd like to close by reading a letter from Gordon, who's deeply upset he can't be here. As you know, Loretta, he and Margie are traveling in New Mexico. I won't try to mimic his voice. I don't do that. But I think you'll recognize his voice and his words. Loretta, I'm so sorry I cannot be there for this very special occasion. I've known you for many years and must say that you are one of the most professional people I've ever worked with. From your time with Jack Blackburn to your time in the President's office, it's been a joy to see you each day. You always have a smile on your face, a twinkle in your eye, and a kind word for all. Your poise and dignity is beyond imagination. I have always marveled at how you handle yourself during very difficult phone calls, of which have been in the hundreds over the years. Needless to say, you've always been one of my favorites, and each day you have managed to make me and all those who surround you feel very much a part of your life. I want to wish you and Michael great happiness as you spend more time on your boat, fishing the Chesapeake Bay together, and enjoying a life the two of you have carved out that is quite special. You'll be able to spend more time with your children and grandchildren, which are your greatest blessing and legacy. All the best, because you are the best. Warmly, Gordon. I'm just the warm-up act. Linda is the entertainer. So, Loretta, thank you, and I'll turn it over to Linda Burke.
Thank you.